When you have a new technology and you bring it to physicists, we're going to do the same thing we've been doing since we're 4 years old. We're going to tear it apart. We're going to get to the insides, and we're going to completely analyze it, and we will use it in every possible way. But while that might be considered your worst client, people who will claim they know better than you and will tell you things, that's obviously your best client as well. If you can survive this, it's going to be a product that will work everywhere in the world.
CERN is the International Organization for Nuclear Research, where people essentially study the first moment after the Big Bang. There are about 2,400 staff members working at CERN, but the user of the accelerator are about 10,000 people. The scientists are usually grouped in collaborations called experiments. Every experiment is of the size of 3,000 people, and they are, of course, in the need of communicating and collaborating all the time.
Much of our research is done outside of CERN. Maybe 10% of us are at CERN. We have to remain connected all the time. That's the only way to be able to make decisions and to contribute to those decisions as a collaboration.
To this effect, for example, in the 90s, the web was invented here for a very simple reason. People needed to communicate.
Collaboration is a key element of the success of CERN, and so video conferencing is a key factor in that.
Video conferencing offers in particular the advantage of sharing the work, of sharing presentation, of sharing results, which would be very difficult to do with other means of communication. Tens of thousands of people are using video on a daily basis. There are technicians, scientists, administrators, managers, all the kind.
I think our use case is pretty unique because we have a massive global dispersed community. The two biggest requirements that we had was the power of scalability, or the capacity to scale, and also the capacity to integrate multi-platforms in desktops, from desktops to mobiles, and the interoperability with the current H.323 world.
The scalability requirement were actually twofold. The first thing we wanted is that 800 people could be connected to the overall system simultaneously. And the second requirement was that 350 people could be connected to the same conference, the same virtual meeting.
Our service has to be available at all times and to be able to be launched by non-expert users.
During the testing process and at the end of the testing process, what we witnessed was a very good overall user experience in terms of quality, either of video and audio.
Video has become an important part of our organization. There are thousands of connections every day of video.
The user base has fully moved to the new system. Now we have meetings typically with hundreds of people in per day. We have a usage of up to 600 people simultaneously of the system, and we have thousands of people individually using the system per day.
We use essentially every possible instrument that you can imagine to connect on our video conferences. We use a variety of operating systems. We use everything from high-quality H.323 systems for the connections in the conferencing rooms to phones, if we need to use them, or personal devices.
We needed to make sure that we had the capacity for the simultaneous connections that we have, that range from 800 to 1,000 simultaneous connections. And so we had to deploy a network of 20 routers on 3 main points in Europe, in several points, in several institutes that we collaborate with, in the US and in Asia. And at the same time, for the H.323 and SIP integration, we deployed 3 clusters of gateways, 2 of them in Europe and another one in the US. Vidyo was very helpful in providing us all the help that we needed to be able to make a deployment very fast.
What we have is not just a product that was given to us in which we just purchased, and that's that. What we have is a relationship.
The relationship with Vidyo was very good from day one, because I think they immediately understood how unique our case was. And they demonstrated from the beginning the flexibility and the open-mindedness in hearing our comments.
Vidyo as a company has been actually extremely reactive to our needs. We had special needs, for example, support of the product on the Linux operating system, and the company has done all what was needed to port the platform onto Linux.
With this relationship, I think it was a win-win situation for both for CERN, because we rely now in the service with a very good quality end product, and for Vidyo, because they improved the product in many ways that probably without a unique case like this would not be possible.
The adoption of video conferencing across the laboratory is getting much greater than it ever was before. They started using the same tool for more and more use cases and coming up with new use cases we hadn't thought of.